Hello and welcome back to Let's Translate Manga. Doing a new episode here, and we're getting back to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We haven't done that one in a while. And so what's going to happen pretty soon is I'm going to go over all of the vocabulary and grammar in these manga pages. So like on this side over here, as you can see, I have the manga page. So I'll zoom in and move around and I'll explain and point out what it is that I'm talking about. And underneath below me, I'm going to be pasting in all of the definitions and kanji for each of the words that I'm going over. So if I ever go too fast, if you want to see the full definition, you can pause it and look there and kind of do it maybe more at your own pace. And so, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's see, with this JoJo, where we left off is, I think it's pretty much new into this chapter. It's just they're talking about how important like boxing is to kids, like back in England, back when the manga is. They're all like super excited about it. It's like the #1 sport, super manly and stuff. And so on to the next page here. Have JoJo. First we have 続いて勝敗するはジョナサン・ジョースター Challenger. So he's the challenger. So this 続いて is like to continue or at last, finally. Let me see, it is the te form of Suzuku. And so to make that into its te form, that Godan ku base ending changes to ite. So Suzuku becomes Tsuzuite. Zu can be a hard one to say. So that te here is just linking it to the rest of the sentence, kind of like the English and. So like continue and we have shokai, which is an introduction or referral. And then suru here is to do, so we're introducing you. And then wa makes this the topic of the sentence. And then this right here, Jonasan Joestar, that is his name. And it's all in English, so that's why here it's written in katakana, because it's all loan words. And then this is kind of tricky, because they do have the word challenger, and that's like in little bitty katakana, like the katakana right here. That's like the English loan word. But then they also got this kanji next to it, which is chusensha. There you go. Which also means challenger. So they're just being fancy with having the English word for the furigana here. So he's like, oh, introducing our challenger, Jojo. So down here we have kare wa 最近実力をつけてきました。So, 彼 means he. So this guy. And then what makes that the topic of the sentence, so we're talking about him, obviously. And then 最近 right here is like recently, nowadays, pretty soon. 実力 which is the next one, is like power or force or true strength or merit. And then o makes this like the direct object of the sentence, so we're kind of acting on that. And then this is like a compound verb. So we first have tsukete, which is from the word tsukeru, which is like to furnish, to wear, to like to put on. You're putting on all the strength. Let's see, that is the te form of like tsukeru. And to make that te form that do just becomes a te. It's ichidan verb. So that te is making this a compound verb and connecting it with the kimashita, which is our next one. There you go. It is the mas plus past form of kuru, which is to come, to approach, or to arrive. So it's kind of like come to attaching all this strength recently. And then it is in its mas past form here. So let me see, kuru. First, it's an irregular verb, so you just have to kind of memorize. Kuru becomes kimasu. And then that mas becomes mashita in its past form. So kuru becomes kimashita. So as for him, recently he's like gained, put on a lot of power, a lot of ability or merit. So he's shown promise recently. And next we have そしてチャンピオンは so that is Maku Watkin. So そして is and thus, therefore, the champion here again is that katakana. So it's an English loan word meaning champion. And then wa makes that the topic of the sentence. So, like, as for the champion, he is Mark Watkin, which we got more because they're in English names. We're all doing those with katakana, like our Jana San Joestar, and this little dot here is separating the words. Like, if you notice, they don't have a lot of spaces in Japanese, so how you would tell like when one word ends and another begins is mostly looking at the hiragana. Because like you see, this word is all kanji, and then this hiragana comes up, and it's cutting it off, so you know this is a particle. Like the same thing here. But then when you have stuff like this, because this is a verb, that gets a little bit hard to tell. It just comes with kind of practice, and so you can kind of tell those apart. So everyone's like, oh, we're all super pumped. Let me see, and this is like, bum bum, just like tapping him on the shoulder. And this guy, I think, is like the ref. He's got ref clothes on. And so ref is all like, it's kind of like surprised, I'm not sure what's going on. And then, these are the kids who are watching. He's like, oi! Some kind of a rough masculine way to say hey. Got it here. It's like kind of a Kansai dialect thing as well. And next we have champion. Champion. We just went over. That is the same champion we have over here, our English loan word. And then nani is what? So here you go. And then shiteru is the teiru form of suru, which means to do. And suru is also an irregular verb. So when you first change it to its te form, suru becomes shite. And you just gotta memorize that one. There's only like suru, kuru are usually irregular verbs and like one other. There's not a lot in Japanese, so there's not too many you just have to memorize. So anyway, suru becomes shite, and then you add on iru for shiteiru, which is like doing. And here they're like, they're talking like really rough, so they're actually completely like just removing the whole iru, so it's like shite. But it should be like shiteiru. So nani shiteiru is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then this da here is like be or is. We kind of add some assertion there, an imperative. And then yo adds a good deal of emphasis. It's kind of the vanilla one. Like a lot of enders on here have kind of like, they need emphasis and have some kind of other nuance. But yo pretty much just means the emphasis. And next we have hayaku, which can be like early or soon. So this is like, oi, what is the champion doing? And then there's hayaku ringu e ire. So hayaku from here is, it's like early, soon, or quickly. And then ringu, we have even more English. Ringu means ring, not the movie. He's probably meaning like, the sport ring. Like, why isn't he in the ring? What's going on? And then it is indicating like the direction or goal, so like towards the ring. And it can only mean with like physical things, because ni can mean the direction or goal, but it can kind of be different meanings versus just like physical location. Like if you're going to become a doctor, like ni naru, you could use it for that, but you can't use a for that. Only physical directions. And then the next one is, they're cutting it off, but it is ireru. which is like to put in or to let in or to bring in. So like ayaku, quickly, ringu, towards the ring, put him in. So it's like, what's going on with the champion? Put him in the ring. And Joe starts like all like, what? Why are they in the ring already? So that I'm gonna stop there. I hope you guys learned a lot. Have fun. Learned a lot of stuff about champions and rings, maybe. I will see you guys in the next one. Matane.